Welcome to Albatross Marine's explanation of how to make an Albatross race legal. Here we have Albatross A36, better known as La Delfina 3, after refit, and we will run through some of the technical aspects of how to make her compliant to race. Let's start by having a look under the hood. In here we need to have a battery isolation without having to go to vast expense or complication of moving your battery terminals up into the cockpit. This needs to end up on the port hand side of the cockpit in an operation. So we can see over here I have my isolation point above the battery, and it's set so that when it turns quarter of a turn it jumps out, and that's the only thing that you have to bear in mind when fitting it to the plate. That try and have it pointing at 6 o'clock when it's engaged and at 3 o'clock when it's disengaged. If I pull the cable, which I shall take around the other side, the cable must have a sticker indicating where it is, but to try and hide it, what we've done is we put it up on an extended piece of tube under the side deck, and when I pull this, what happens to the cable piece is that there is your battery isolation, and it's a very simple conversion with a piece of tube with a bolt in the back with a penny washer. You only need a 6mm bolt. Drill a hole down the centre of the centre of the bolt, and drill a hole under the side deck. Push the bolt with a penny washer through the hole under the side deck, and you need to have tapped the tube, which needs to be about 8 inches long, so the bolt secures the tube. Then when you get your FIA pull handle, throw all the sheathing away and just push it through, and you need a solderless nipple so that you can see the solderless nipple here. I've also chosen to tie on this so it can't drop on the battery or get lost. Other points to make us race legal: wiring has to be of the standard which is acceptable, so it has to be taped up and in good condition, and fuel pipes have to either be a modern rubber or a braided hose, as you can see here. Unfortunately, the fuel bowl that we so traditionally have in Albatrosses is not applicable because it's glass. If you can find a steel or a plastic one, then it becomes not a problem. At the moment that's not been possible, so I've just chosen to bypass it, you can see. But you can see, looking in here, all the cabling, wiring and hoses are in a good condition. Seats. Your seats are naturally restrained by your restraining bar, which is bolted on, so if you've taken that out you need to reinstall that. But that holds the back seat in, which obviously holds the base in, and I've just noticed that I'm missing my side rest. The floors need to be attached and bolted in the back and screwed in the front, and again the seat base underneath needs to be secured. When operating the throttle, you need to have a sprung throttle. Now this is a traditional Albatross sprung throttle, so that when I operate it and I let go, it returns to idle, and that is a fundamental part of the rules, that your throttle must return to idle. What we've done for kill switch is to install the kill switch so that it's just visible under the dash only. So obviously, to make it work, your lanyard will plug in. Your lanyard needs to be of a set length, which is in the rules, and it needs to be connected to your body. The windscreens need to be changed for Lexan. They're available from ourselves or Haven't Plastics down the road for approximately £60 including VAT. It's not a hard conversion. Just undo the 2 bolts here and the 1 bolt inside and pop the bracket off, pull the screen out, put the rubber on the new screen, and you will be able to change it probably in about half an hour. You can clearly see the sticker in there showing the battery isolation now. When in the pits, we need to have our propellers covered with a very small bucket, just so that when they're not in operation you can't cut yourself on them. And your trailer needs to be marked on the bunk with your designated race number, which obviously should be on the side of your boat. When we come to safety equipment, you need a helmet, which this isn't one, that needs to be orange, red or yellow and compliant. And again, if you email us, we will email you the current specification. You also need to have a race jacket. That this is not a life jacket, but they're available from our good friend Darren Marion for £45. And you need to have all of your body covered, so no arms showing, no shorts. We would suggest a boiler suit like this. It doesn't have to be expensive. And that is how you make an Albatross race compliant. Come and join the fun. Look us up at albatrossmarine.co.uk and we look forward to seeing you this summer.